Welcome to this edition of Train for Aptitude. Today we look at the fourth concept in the problems on time and distance. Let us begin by reading the problem. Arun travels the first 160 kilometers at 64 kilometers per hour and the next 160 kilometers at 80 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed of this 320 kilometers of the tour? Our options are A. 35.55 kmph, B. 36 kmph, C. 71.11 kmph, and D. 71 kmph. We could visualize the problem as shown. The total distance between point A and point B is 320 km divided into two phases of 160 kilometers each. In the first phase, Arun travels at 64 kmph. In the second phase, he travels at 80 kmph. By definition, the average speed is nothing but the total distance divided by the total time taken to cover that distance. We already know the total distance that is covered, but we do not know the total time to cover this distance. To solve the problem, we begin with looking at information that we have. Segment 1 has the speed of his journey as 64 kmph, the distance as 160, and let us assume the time is t1. For segment 2, the speed is 80 kmph, the distance again 160 km, and the time is t2. The next step is to frame the equations for the time for each segment, which is nothing but the distance by speed. In the first case, it would be 2.5 hours. In the second case, it would be 2 hours. The total time thus would be 4.5 hours. The next step is to find the average speed. Average speed is the total distance by the total time, that is 320 km by 4.5, that is 71.11 kmph. The first step in generalization is to begin with the information that is given. We fill in the matrix of speed, distance and time and look at what information is given to us in each of the segments, segment 1 and segment 2, speeds s1 and s2, distances d1 and d2 and time t1 and t2. The next step is to frame the equations for the time in each of the segments. Segment 1, the time is t1 is equal to d1 by s1, and segment 2, time t2 is the distance d2 by s2. The final step is to begin with the equation for the average speed. Average speed is equal to total distance by the total time, that is d1 plus d2 divided by t1 plus t2. Thanks for watching Train for Aptitude. Please encourage us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and liking our Facebook page. You could also catch us on our website trainforaptitude.in.